everyone, and thank you for checking in with my 2 cents. I just want to do a brief overhaul of everything that we talked about yesterday on the TikTok. I like to bring a less congested version of it here to YouTube, and so let's just jump into the things that we talked about. So one of the first things that we talked about was the companies that had earnings due this past week. That would be Zomedica, Target, Fubo TV. There's a couple more coming up, but then a couple people jumped in and said that they weren't aware that or didn't know how to find the earnings calendar. So I'm going to put in a little bit of snippet right in here. I've had this video used in the past, so I'm going to add it into this video and show you how to find the earnings calendar off of MarketWatch. So we'll add that in here. Then we have, if you are following an HCMC Twitter account, delete it. It is not real. HCMC came out with a statement saying that there is one out right now. And while they are working on formulating their own and bringing it to the people, they do not have one yet. So if you are following the one that is out, delete it because it is not real. And I don't want it to mislead any shareholders or anything like that. Then we have Johnson & Johnson's vaccine. They got the emergency patent from the FDA, and they are in the process of formulating it and getting it out to the public. And company Mark and ticker MRK, which is a actually rival company, actually was cleared by the Biden administration to work with Johnson & Johnson to produce and get the vaccine out to the people because they have hopes that every adult that wants the vaccine will be vaccinated by this summer. So they're really pushing these things out. So that's definitely one to take a look at. On the discussion of earnings, everybody keep an eye out on Sundial. If you have it, Sundial's Q4 earnings are due on March 17th. So just put a little pin on your calendar or keep it in mind somewhere. And that way you can peek in and it could potentially affect the stock. Then our last biggest piece of, I think, information and news that we went over was what happened with LTNC. I know a couple of us were really hopeful about this, and I don't know how they necessarily missed this information, but they acquired Takeover Industry. And I thought that this would be good, this would be awesome, but as a part of that acquisition, 6.8 billion shares of the LTNC stock are to be put into a restricted period for 12 months. So it's basically that amount is not going to be offered to the public, which is just odd. That wouldn't have really crushed it or really caused that big of an issue. But then their CEO that just stepped down, he retired and canceled 500 million shares of the stock. His stock and his shares, he canceled them, which means that those are like now removed like permanently. They're destroyed, they're gone. That's 500 million, shares in this company though. Like that was funds, and now it's gone. So it's just something to keep an eye on, and if you had the stock and saw this giant dump, like this could have contributed to it. So just be aware. So now I'm going to hop back over. I'm going to click into a clip of me walking through the MarketWatch app, or actually I think I did it online. So it's the MarketWatch online, and I'm going to show you guys how to find the earnings calendar. Then I'm going to pop up and put up a couple of the stocks that we went over last night. I'm going to put their charts up. So bear with me. I'm going to put up those clips and put up the charts, and that'll be it for today's the YouTube.
Hi everyone. So I just want to get on really quick, do a super short video on how to find earnings for your stocks. So the easiest way that I have found is just come right here to MarketWatch. When you are, it's already up here. What is it doing? Kind of me crazy. Okay, right on this top bar, you are going to find investing. So go ahead and click that. You're going to scroll down a little bit, but you really don't even have to. It's really just to avoid that ad at the top. And over here on the right, you're going to see research and tools. You're going to get a drop-down menu, and there you go. Earnings calendar, IPO calendar, option calendar. Awesome. So go ahead and click earnings calendar. Here you'll see all of the ones that are coming up for today, for March 3rd. But if you want to see how the search symbol works, what we'll do is we'll type in one. How about Zoom? Because that one came out 2 days ago. So let's just do ZM. We'll do that, and boom, it's going to come up for 2 days ago now, for March 1st. And that's exactly how that works. Then another fun thing is if we go back Into research and tools, you can find the IPO calendar. So if you've got some stocks that you know are coming to IPO soon and you think that they have, if they're coming up soon and maybe you don't know the date, this would be a good place to come looking for them. And I've been watching on here because I know that Coinbase is going to IPO and they said sometime this month, so I've been checking back in here along with other sites and other sources of news. So overall, that's it. Just right in that investing tab. Boom, right there. You can have your earnings calendars, which, as we all know as stock traders, is extremely important to watch in stocks that we have shares in. So that's a wrap, and thanks for checking in. Search and tools, you can.
So Airbnb is one of the stocks that somebody requested that we looked at last night. So this is the exact chart that we went ahead and looked at. And all in all, you didn't see too much negative going on with this chart. The only thing that I have to say is there's not really a huge amount of trading volume going on down here. That means that all of this growth is just coming from the company itself. And this is something that we had talked about right on the TikTok, and a lot of people agreed with it. This has had a lot of great, steps all the way up to where it is and stuff now. And I really I think that, we've had this dip, it went up, this dip, it went up, and then this one down here as well. I think that this little dip that we've got, even with this little tail end that we're seeing here, I think that it has the ability to continue with the momentum and follow back up to at least, its last high around that 216 mark. And if you got in on this in the beginning, you've already, even from where it is, you've already made, $50 on your share. So honestly, I think this is a great one, even for long-term holds, to just get in and be a part of. And this is exactly what I talked about last night. So the L for Helicity Inc. was asked of me last night, and I have to say, I'm not an overwhelming fan. We had a lot of consolidation through here, which is totally fine. That's super normal, happens with a lot of stocks. But when it did go ahead and pump, it caused this gap where there's no other candles, and just precedent from other stock charts in the past and history of chart reading says that gap is going to have to be filled. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be next week, next month, or even, within this year, but it means that it'll eventually go back down. Does that make it a bad stock for right now? No. But what worries me is that this is already on its way here. You can already see it coming back down to go ahead and meet that level. It's already, a quarter of the way into that gap almost. And I'm just concerned that it will keep going in that direction. My indicators are crossed and stuff here. They're a little bit different, but that's why you always use more than one. But I have my crossover here for a sell trigger. And then you have the super trend telling you to start, selling here, when in reality, you definitely might have started, right before that gap and everything, which is great. I don't recommend this one unless you're going to really be, I don't know anything more about the company. Like I said, we only look at charts when people are asking them of me. So overall, I said that I would wait. I would put in an alert to see if it drops a little bit further, maybe start my first alert at $12. And then if it did hit that 12, maybe put one in for an 11, just something to keep your mind up, and something to bring your mind and look back at the chart to see if it's moving in the direction that you want it to yet. Because hopefully once it hits one of these two lines, it would go ahead and cause a reversal, in which case you could get in and hopefully make some profit. So like I said, this isn't one of my favorite charts to look at and stuff right now, but with that said, my advice was to set some alerts if you believed in this company and you really wanted to get in and get it moving. So that's what we discussed yesterday. So that's going to be it for me tonight, guys. That's a little bit of a gist of what we did in that video or in my live. I only threw up a couple of them, and like I said, we're going through so many charts, just chart, and it's not all the due diligence that you need. Not even specifically, you shouldn't just be listening to me or any other traders or even financial advisors without doing your own due diligence also on the companies, on the past trade history, and looking into all the other factors. Does it fit into your portfolio? Is it active enough? Is it liquid? All these things you should be looking into before committing to any stocks anyway. So this is just a starting point. This is just a baseline for you guys. And a lot of people I know appreciate it and stuff still, but that's just where we are. If you're looking for any more basics or any specific charts anywhere, please reach out to me at either here in the comments, or you can reach me at a whole bunch of other social media spots. You can book one-on-one one-on-ones. I have an email blast list. All of that can be found in my beacon, which I think I have on my page and stuff somewhere here, or I'll put it in the comments because a bunch of people have been asking. So I kind of threw them all together in one place so you guys can reach out to me at any time. Until then, that's my 2 cents.